I'm excited to share a collaboration challenge where two artists choose a piece of art from the other's collection and then remake that piece of art in their own style. My friend Oksana at Paint Paper Planet has a bit of a series of these creative art exchanges, and this week I'm participating in this challenge with her. It was hard choosing just one of the paintings to work on because there are a number that stood out to me, but I decided to interpret her Valentine's Day piece with two rabbits, Max and Mila. The poppies in her painting are fantastic, and I happen to live near a town that calls itself the Red Poppy Capital, so that was one reason. And the other is rabbits. Now, I know I like to draw rabbits, but I didn't realize just how much until I was looking for one drawing in particular, and nearly every sketchbook I grabbed had some rabbit drawing in it. I had loads of them. Seems they are multiplying like rabbits. The drawing I was searching for is the one that's on the right. I just thought that look of that just reminded me of her painting. And there's a couple others that I particularly like from my historical collection. I have so many of these drawings. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to post it to my Instagram if you want to see some other ones. So how would I reinterpret Oksana's Max and Mila painting? Well, I'll tell you how I came to my idea. Her channel is called Paint Paper Planet, and she had already done the painting, so I thought, well, let's do the paper part. Now, I've never done anything like this, this cut paper art. So I called on my resident sign-holding rabbit that has apparently been named Terry by a friend of mine. Now, Terry's all work, and he's not likely to say much, so I'll film him working away on this interpretation, and I'll see if I can divine what he's thinking. I know that he's also pretty exacting, and I think that's why he wanted to take over. I can't be trusted to do rabbits right, and he knows a whole lot more about these things. After doing a few rough sketches, the biggest part of cut paper art is, and I'm sure you can guess, cutting paper. Lots of it. It certainly is a different approach to making a piece of art, because you aren't generally mixing colors. You select the right color paper for each part of the composition. I ended up buying a couple variety packs of paper that had roughly the right choice of colors. And because you are choosing individual discrete colors, these cut paper pieces of art are typically, well, they're a bit more simple generally, and have a bit of a posterized look. Now, I have seen some extremely intricate work done by some artists, but the color palette is usually pretty limited. Now, Terry here doesn't actually have opposable thumbs, so he's not going to get overly intricate with his cuts. But you can cut out different shapes in different colors to represent, such as in this case, different shades of fur, or shadows, or blades of grass and poppies. You know, how you cut the paper and the colors you choose can add form and texture. Another part of this technique is layering the paper. We chose to use glue to attach different pieces of paper when that needed to be done. That is pretty straightforward, and if you've got a glue stick, that works out perfectly, or spray adhesive really works nicely too. One thing we wanted to do was to give this composition some depth, literally. This scene is a poppy field that goes off into the horizon, and there's an opportunity to exaggerate that distance by putting space between the layers of paper. Now, we did that by affixing some foam board in the space between layers, and that gives the art that depth that you can see in 3 dimensions. So the poppies might be exposed or hidden depending on where your eye is, and you can get shadows from the light in the room, It's an artistic element I've rarely used on purpose, and it was really exciting seeing things take shape. I appreciate a number of things about Oksana's art, the wonderful colors and the textures, but also she will often write a story that goes along with the painting that she's doing, typically something sweet and uplifting. And for me, stories are an important part of art. It doesn't need to be a long, involved thing or have some astounding meaning necessarily, but stories do give depth to the person observing the art. As I was researching this week, I read a lot about the symbolism of red poppies, and much of it in the English-speaking part of the world is reflected in the poem In Flanders Fields by the Canadian John McCrae. And it really deals with the losses in World War I and sort of the connection between life and death. It's pretty heavy. But in some parts of the world, poppies symbolize love, and probably because of their red color and the heart shape, that makes sense. And I think it's this symbolism that works best with the story that Oksana wrote on her original painting of this Max Mila. Let's listen to that story. It's short, but you could add on to it in your mind or in the comments below. I think that it just adds a nice dash of sweetness.
Among the poppy fields lived two rabbits, Max and Mila. Tenderness sparked in their eyes, and the poppy flowers, forming hearts, concealed their feelings. It was the place of their encounters. Max, cheerful and agile, encountered Mila, dreamy and tender. Together they crafted their world of love amidst the colorful poppies. On Valentine's Day, Max gifted Mila a painting where they were together in the poppy field, and the melodies of the piano became their own soundtrack.
I had a lot of fun with this project, and I thank Terry, the sign-holding rabbit, for his expertise. And of course, I thank Oksana for this opportunity to try something a bit unusual. Now, Oksana is also recreating a piece of my art, and I don't know yet what it is. I am so excited. Let's go over to her channel and check that out because the suspense is killing me. But before you go, click like on this video and leave a comment. It's a joy reading them. And thank you for stopping by. More videos coming right here in a little while. All right, bye-bye.